Hey there, guys. It is Tomster on the behalf of Indie Structure Productions. We are back after last week not having a video. I was a little poorly and sickly, so I couldn't record any audio and had no energy to actually finish making a video. So, we're back at full strength now. Still a little bit clogged up, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So, continuing off, basically now that the inlays are in on the fretboard, it's time for me to go back and actually properly radius the fretboard. So now I'm going through all the grids, going up all the way to, well, in the video you'll see me go up to 320, but yeah. Then before fretting I go up to about like 600 or 800 just to get a really nice sheen and nice feel to the fretboard, if I remember correctly. I think I did that. Anywho, so yeah, I'm not really pressing down all that much. I'm letting the radius block itself and do all the work. And then when it comes to actually getting holes drilled for the tuners, I have to get a little block to get the headstock nice and square. Yeah, it's a bit awkward trying to drill something that has a guitar attached to it. Yeah, it's tedious, and it was scary trying to keep it steady and using a very small drill bit to do the pilot holes, because I didn't want to snap that bit. We didn't have too many of those smaller bits, so that would have kind of sucked. I think that was my 2mm bit, and Christopher actually had snapped a portion of it already and resharpened it, hoping I wouldn't mind. Well, at least he resharpened it. He was honest about it, that he broke it and stuff like that. So that's nice. So, anywho, with that tangent, continuing forwards, basically the pilot holes are just to kind of guide the brad point a little better. What I would suggest doing is going halfway with your final holes from one side and then going the other way through. And then doing the remaining half from the other side. There we go. Got that sentence out. That just ensures that you have really no splinters coming off and no tear out and stuff like that. It just makes it look a lot nicer. Fortunately, seeing as I had the block there on the opposite side, I didn't really have issues with that. I didn't go all the way through on most of them, so I'm just gonna do a little bit just to minimize tear out from the other side as well. Doing it this way around was a hell of a lot harder. Seriously, holding up. Now I'm holding up the entire guitar, so it feels very heavy, and doing this for a long time, it's hard to keep it steady because I can't really hold on with my other hand. But I got through it. Fortunately, there wasn't too much to drill through, so that somewhat helps. Yeah. Now, to kind of make everything fit a little better with the body having veneer and all, it's time to glue on the headstock veneer. It's generally just the same process as with the body veneer. Put on glue as you do, spread it evenly, and then clamp it up. Except this time it's a lot easier because I have a much smaller surface to work with. So I can basically just use 2 blocks of MDF in this case with tape on them to kind of clamp it up. Now the reason why I have tape on the pieces of MDF is pretty much that if well, for the sole reason that if any of the glue does seep through, the MDF won't get glued onto the veneer, because that would be bad. It's not as bad if it was a block of wood that I was gluing onto, because let's say that there's some MDF that gets stuck, I can always sand that off. But this is veneer. It's already pretty thin stuff, so if I had to get rid of MDF and stuff like that stuck onto it and glue and everything, it just doesn't work. So yeah, the tape is there just to make sure that basically my blocks don't get glued along with everything else, that only the veneer gets glued on to the headstock. I'm just using some masking tape to make sure that the veneer doesn't actually slip or move, because it is a certain part of the veneer that I want in a certain place. So to ensure that I get the best results, I'm gonna make sure that the veneer doesn't have a chance to move or slip anywhere. And of course, applying a little bit of pressure so that the masking tape helps out with the whole clamping process. Volute there giving me a little bit of trouble, but got through it all well and good. Yes, Ben in the background there somewhere, just walked by. It's really interesting. During these videos, I keep on looking at everything that's happening in the background a whole lot more. Or at least I do that because, of course, I know what I personally am doing in the video. So yeah. Once again, with veneering, with clamps, without like a vacuum press and stuff like that, I do have to use a lot of clamps. Anywho, so this is sped forward a little bit, or jumping forward a bit. The glue is cured, and now it's just a matter of, and I've drilled the tuner holes through, and now it's just a matter of actually cleaning up the tuners, or cleaning up all the excess with a reamer. And then comes the nerve-wracking part of drilling all the holes. So first things first, I used a bradawl to mark out where I want my bridge ground to go. And there you can see I'm using one of my fingers as somewhat of a guide. Because oddly enough, it's very easy to use your finger as a guide to see where you're about to go. So basically I'm aiming at my finger, just need to remember to move it out of the way before the drill bit goes through. And yeah, and now it's time to bridge the gap between the two pickup cavities. See, this would have been a very easy way of doing this, is first doing the jack hole and then drilling from the jack into the pickup cavities. Now, I hate doing that because it is unbelievably scary to me, but if you do it right, there's no issues there. But yeah, I'm always scared of that, so I try and avoid it as much as possible. So in this scenario, I'm just basically slanting from both pickups and kind of bridging the gap between the two, and then just drilling into the control cavity itself. The thing is, I always worry about not having the angle correct and then damaging the guitar somehow, but you shouldn't have any issues with that, seeing as the pickups are routed pretty much halfway through to the guitar, and the control cavity is routed pretty much, 4 or 5 mil toward the top. So there's, if you mess up, which you probably will do the first few times you do this, yeah, you get used to all the measurements pretty quick, so no worries about that. I think I've gone through the back of a guitar once, and that was pretty bad. Definitely learn from that mistake though. And yeah, when blowing dust out of a pickup cavity, don't have your eyes anywhere near that. You will get dust in your eye, and I'm sure I did it there as well. I always happen to do that. But you know, it's a consolation knowing that everybody else does the same thing. Yeah, I applied some wax earlier onto the drill bit just to make it go in a little bit easier and minimize any squeaky noises that it might make. Just easy does it. Once again, using my finger as a guide there. Making a check. Everything's all good. Came out pretty much in the middle of the control cavity, so that's good. Awesome. Moving onwards. Try to figure out how to bridge the gap between the two pickups. And yeah, that's me explaining to Sam about what I'm doing in this scenario. Doing it this way around always makes it a little bit harder when wiring, because you kind of need to feed the wire up in a very strange way. But, man. And then it's a matter of drilling out the jack hole. So first things first, I'm trying out a new drill bit that we got in the workshop, and we're planning on using for production models. So I got to be the guinea pig for that. First things first, I have to drill a, I want to say 8 mil or 10 mil hole straight through. Fortunately, this is Meranti, so it's very easy to drill through. And we would have used a step drill before, but now we're using this drill bit that I do not remember the name of. And then only after that going in to get the final size of the hole with the step drill. This is basically only just to minimize tear out, and it worked like a charm, just cut like butter. But hey, the video is about to end, so I'm gonna say bye for now. See you guys next week, and don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and then tell every single one of your friends to come over, watch this video, and smash that like button just the same. Alrighty. Hey, I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.